So, I've kind of been a little bit more dedicated on making videos, shorts and things of that nature. I'm kind of settling in, in my daily routines here in Washington. So, I kind of wanted to talk about a quick little topic. So, this is the first time for me that I've been away from, my brothers in arms, the guys that I deployed with. I still talk to them pretty regularly, but most of them are in Texas, and then spread out throughout the rest of the country. The military is really awesome for giving you a accelerated learning program on all the different cultures and dialects and things of that nature across the entire country. And come to find out, we all wipe our ass with the same hand, or at least one hand, for those Southpaw people out there. Anyway, so being here and being exposed to a whole new set of people in the oil field, it attracted a lot of it's not that the people in the oil field weren't patriotic. I came across a lot of veterans from time to time, but compared to out where I am now, the oil field attracted people that were, entrepreneurial, whether they were starting a business or simply just made a leap out there to make money, or at least more money than what they were making. Out here, it's a little different. One, in Washington State, it's there's a lot of military presence, whether it be the Navy, the Air Force, or the Army. There's Fort Lewis, McChord, the Everett Naval Base, Bangor. I'm sure I'm missing some other ones, but anyway, so the guys I have come across, they're all of varying degrees. Some have deployed, some got out before then. Some served, 9 or 10 years. Some served, 20 years. But I've noticed whenever the topic comes up, I'm kind of a big advocate of the VFW, the American Legion, seeking out, help and whatnot from the VA if you need it. First off, the VA, I'm not saying that it's designed to be difficult, but goddamn, man, it's fucking difficult. I've made a few videos and a few shorts already of my own personal bitches, gripes, and complaints about the VA. But unless you know how to navigate it, or unless you have a friend that can at least point you in the general direction of where you should begin, it's damn difficult to navigate it. It really truly is, and I feel like that's why there's been so many civilian entrepreneurs out there that you can pay and they'll help you navigate that system. That just tells you enough right there. You've got CPAs and businesses out there to help you with the IRS because it's difficult to navigate. They form this and form that, and you didn't dot your T and cross your, or you didn't dot your I and cross your T, and it can be a bit daunting, and then you got to throw in medical records, and it can be scary, and it's very easy to just, it's not that bad, or I don't think I need help. And it's really unfortunate, really, really unfortunate. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even with all the difficulties, even with all my bitches, gripes, and complaints about the VA and how hard it is to navigate it, at the end of the day, it is still an organization with the sole driven purpose of helping veterans. So once you find yourself in that organization, you're going to get help. You just got to get there. And that's what this is kind of about. This video is, I'm putting it out there. If you're having second thoughts, if you're, confused on this, that, or the other, there are outlets out there. Now, I'm not telling you, giving, what to do, per se. I'm just, just going through my own process. There are organizations out there that you can pay, and there's some organizations out there that I think are predatory that will ask you, for a certain percentage of your VA disability compensation to a certain, dollar amount. It's not like in perpetuity, but they will ask for what I think is an unreasonable amount of money, and they'll once your claim is submitted and a ruling is found, that's how they'll get paid back is through the VA compensation. I can see where that can be some help to some people, but I don't recommend it. There's many programs out there that you can go through that are going to charge you. The DAV is a really, really, really good one. That's the Disabled American Veterans. There's also your local VFW. Not all, but a lot of the posts out there will have an officer that is well versed in the VA system, and a lot of times military members end up going into the VA, or they go into other government-like programs. So there's a really good chance that you're going to find somebody that is either A, an expert in it, or B, has at least navigated the system enough to be considered almost an expert. So there's that, and same goes for the American Legion. And I've never been a member of like the Moose Lodge or Lions Club or any of that, or Freemasons, but I'm sure that they may have something similar. If anybody wants to put in the comments that is true, then please do so. Also, subscribe and like this video. It helps my channel out. So I just want to get to as many vets as I can, and this is fun. Why not? This might be morbid, but I think all veterans think about their death all the time. Mainly because I think we've been so close to it. This will be something my kids can watch and just see me in my normal self and not in dad mode. Anyway, different topic. So, yeah, there's different ways to navigate this as far as getting your foot in the door and figuring this stuff out. I touched on a short earlier that a lot of veterans think that they're like it's dirty. They don't want to. They think that it's taking from another veteran, or they haven't quote unquote earned it. I don't know anybody that I served with, or even just not directly served with, just in those two theaters of operation, being Iraq and Afghanistan, they didn't see something they didn't want to see, or did something they didn't want to do, or had something done to them that they wish had never happened. Pick your poison. It's that old saying, some give all, but everyone gives a little. And again, unless you're just, I don't know, freaking badass motherfucker, and can stare down a grizzly bear or death in the eye and laugh, or meet the challenge and put your head to pillow every night and not worry about it, then hey, good for you. But generally speaking, these things are very insidious. I personally had an issue where I sometimes thought I heard the incoming alarm, which was, dan, 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 incoming. At the time, it was a warning, and danger was coming, and you needed to get to the bunker. It wasn't something I was overly terrified of at the time, and it wasn't until I got back that it kind of popped up. It was something I had to deal with. And over time, it got easier and easier. And, I did seek out some help. beginning I was forced, but after that I saw the benefit to it. But you know, it's little things affects you. You don't even realize it. You know, and again, I'm gonna say the VA is there to help you. You know, it's you don't have to have shame in any of it, none whatsoever. You know, my dad, you know, he's a retired Command Sergeant Major. He actually was there in Iraq 04 to 05. We were both in the military actually at the same time. He retired obviously before I got out, but it's pretty wild. We both served in the same war. I mean, the Iraq and Afghanistan war is the longest war that America's ever had. So pretty neat that we were both in the same fight. Anyway, he's my dad, so you know I have all the love and affection for him that you know a son would have, and I've always believed him to be the strongest, most courageous man I've ever met, and smart as a whip. And even he has a lot of issues with it, and I don't look down on him, and I would punch anybody in the nose who did. And even with him being my hero, even heroes have bad days, and so I highly recommend to all of you that who gives a fuck what anybody else thinks. You know, you're not good to anybody if you're broken. You know, for your family, your friends, get right. You know, and it's a big step, I know. Easy for me to fucking say, right? Well, guess what? I've done it. So I know it can be hard. Just do it. And things will get better. Trust me. And like I said, there's many programs out there that will help you navigate the VA system. And once you're in, you're in. Once you're in, man, there you go. The hardest part is over. I'm not saying the battle isn't over or the war is won, but you know, you're there. So yeah, check these things out. Know that I'm pulling for you, and please like and subscribe.